perhaps we've seen the reading of the tea leaves anticipating yet further action on Chinese names.
Well, I think you're right. What we're seeing is an extension of the Biden administration's push to keep China's chip making and technological pursuit in check. We have already seen them negotiating with the Netherlands, with Japan, with South Korea, and other countries to try to prevent China from acquiring the gear needed to make those advanced chips, like the one that we saw Huawei deploy in that phone last summer. What was interesting is that the U.S. was caught by surprise back then with that particular model of phone, which had a 7-nanometer chip. That was a semiconductor that the U.S. had previously thought was out of China's reach. And Huawei, remember, has also been in the U.S. crosshairs for quite some time, for nearly a decade.
Michael, we're just showing the list of Chinese domestic chip names that the U.S., according to our sources, is considering sanctioning. Swayshaw, PST, CXMT, the DRAM maker. What they all have in common, based on my understanding of the reporting, is existing ties to Huawei. Either they're an affiliate of Huawei, or Huawei has basically been using those companies to try and get access to chip-making equipment to which Huawei is banned or sanctioned from accessing.
Well, you're right. Huawei has been on this so-called entity list, this blacklist, since 2019, and that prohibits any U.S. company from selling technology to Huawei unless it gets special permission from the Commerce Department. And the concern is that Huawei may have been able to develop this advanced chip that I just mentioned by using some of these companies as proxies to help get some of the technology it needed to make that leap. And so now what the U.S. is trying to do, and Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo has been very clear about trying to plug any gaps in access that Huawei may have to advanced technology. And likewise, the Commerce Department has also been pushing, as I mentioned, efforts to try to restrict China's access to chip-making equipment in other areas as well.